A year ago this week, we weren't. No one could have prepared for that.
It was just literally an overnight thing.
You could tell that things were starting to happen and that people were starting to get nervous. But I had no idea that within 24 hours I'd be sitting in a conference room downstairs with our senior leadership team talking about the fact that we knew the governor was about to close the schools, that all of the kids were going to be sent home, and that we knew that within a really short period of time we were going to have to create an entire new method.
We recognized immediately that we had to do something quickly. And we started. We worked with our partners. We started calling the schools. We looked at our inventory. We decided what we could put into boxes. We thought about ways to get the food out to everyone. We did what we knew we were supposed to do.
Because many of our pantries had to close or had severely cut back their hours, we knew we had to jump into action to serve people. And we did that through establishing mobile distributions, which meant we became, the Arkansas Foodbank staff became a place where we had to pack and package a lot of emergency boxes and prepare for these wide, massive mobile distributions.
For me, I remember thinking, this is what we're doing right now in the moment. There never felt like there was time to even think about what could happen 2 months from now, 6 months from now.
Last year, March, we looked at this like a fairly short-term event, and that we would be called upon to respond, and had no idea it was going to last so long. In most disaster responses, the threat is over by the time you start responding. And I think with COVID, one of the things that was different is that it continued to grow. I mean, the concern continued to grow as we responded to as well.
The other thing I kind of remember is everybody having to join in and do pretty much everything.
It was absolutely phenomenal. Our staff stayed and packed boxes till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It took everybody playing a different role, a new role, an expanded role, whatever it was that they did, to make it happen. Our donors were over the top because it was real. It was very, very real. Hearing people talk about their job loss, hearing people talk about their needs to just put food in their refrigerator.
As a service organization, you're proud to distribute the food that you were able to distribute last year. When we talk about that, though, it comes at there's an expense to that, and the people that we serve need that food. So it's a bittersweet a milestone to be able to distribute what we distributed last year, but we are proud to be a service provider.
There are so many stories. When people ask me about my job and there are great days when you can work with a community like the city of Pangburn, and we got a chance to work with their mayor, and we're able to send food to that community, and they box it and they provide it to seniors, and that's a good day. But some of the most challenging days are when you have to turn people away.
I was able to volunteer at a lot of mobile distributions over 2020. And I remember specifically at a distribution in Cabot, we had a minivan pull up, which speaks a lot to me. I'm a mom of 3 kids and I drive a minivan. And when we opened that sliding door and put 2 gallons of milk in the car, we heard kids saying, "Mom, we get milk, we get milk." And the mom with tears in her eyes said, this is the first time that they've had milk in 3 months. And I will never forget that, because I'm a mother and I cannot imagine what it would feel like to not be able to give my kids the food that they need.
I had one mom at the end of a distribution that pulled up, and we had given out all the food we had. There was not a drop left. And she started crying and said, "I just don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have any food." That's that moment when it really, really hits you that how real this is and how much that box of food provides for someone. When you say it provides hope, it does.
Part of our DNA now is going to be figuring out year to year how we can reach people who've never been reached and do it more effectively and do it more efficiently. I just think that's something that's been built into us through our experience of the past year.
donors, Feeding America, the government commodities that we've had, our agencies, the support that they have. It really seemed like everybody was on the same page about trying to meet the need that arose.
We are here and we're committed, and we feel like we now have the resources and the abilities that we need to serve those families for however long their need exists.
It's a perfect picture of a time when your community, your government, and even those who are in need all came together to do whatever they had to do to help each other.